What is going on, everybody? We're back on it. One Piece. Turn this off here. One Piece episode 460 now. Patreon members and I guess YouTube at the same time, but mostly Patreon members. You guys haven't seen 459 by the time I'm recording 460. So as big as that episode was, especially there at the ending, and we had a lengthy discussion on 459, you guys haven't seen that yet. So if I'm repeating a lot of things, especially with kind of like the info dump and characters and all craziness that we got there at the end, we're probably going to be repeating ourselves and asking those questions again, just because you guys haven't had a moment to see it yet before we get to this. I still don't know with that reveal at the end how Ace and Luffy are actually brothers, like actually blood brothers, because it's been told to us as the viewer multiple times by the story that Luffy's dad is Dragon, the one that's leading this revolutionary, which I don't know if it's a revolution against pirates, a revolution against the Marines, a revolution against all of it, but we've been told that that's Luffy's dad. So okay, cool, they can still be brothers if they have different dads. They could have the same mom, they could be half brothers, and we get the reveal that Ace's dad is Gold Roger. So two different dads, that's fine, can still be brothers. But then we were told that Ace's mother, which I assumed to also be Luffy's mother, died like right then and there after she gave birth to Ace. So where did the blood cross? Like, how are they actually brothers? Is it just something that they say? Are they actually, I don't know, like, is that just something that they say, or there's going to be some other crazy wild twist and turn DNA explanation on how they're brothers? I have absolutely no idea. Because I was like, oh well, Gold Roger could have gotten another woman pregnant and then that could have been Luffy, but we've been told that Luffy's dad is Dragon. So unless that's not true, or there's some other crazy spin DNA tree ancestry.com thing, I have no idea. Now I would say that so does that mean that Garp, because then you got to start asking, like, how does Garp fall into all this? Because Luffy recognizes as Garp as his grandfather. We've seen that multiple times. And for Garp to go essentially check up on Ace when he was locked in the cell there that we got, I guess, before Luffy arrived at Impel Down, I would also assume that that would mean that Garp is Ace's grandfather as well. So I thought to myself, well, so what you're saying is that, is Gold Roger Garp's son? Did he bring his own son in and execute and bring him to justice? Is that a thing? I have absolutely no idea. Is Garp Ace's mother's father? That could be a thing. But even if you said that, like, okay, Garp is Ace's mother's dad, or Garp is Gold Roger's dad, and then you could say, well, okay, Garp is also Dragon's dad. That would only make Luffy and Ace cousins, though. So I don't know what the breakdown, again, 23andMe, ancestry.com is going to explain to us as these episodes go. But that's kind of where I'm hung up on that. And then again, how, I don't know if there's going to be an explanation of it, but Goku up here saying she was able to hold Ace inside her for almost essentially like 2 years. He said 20 months. Let's go ahead and round it and say 2 years. When the normal pregnancy doesn't even stretch that long, So how she's physically able to do that, I don't know if that's like a method or technique that is in this world that's rarely done but can be done. Because it's so wild, because in that quote he said that they were going around checking babies. What do you mean by checking them? You guys were like running blood work that you had with Roger on the side? Like, what do you mean by that? But then he said they were checking preborns as well. So how they were doing that and why I don't know. There's a lot of like technicality questions on what they were doing, how they were doing. And then the follow-up question, which we asked this in the last episode, which maybe we get here. Say they did find, say Ace was born like normally, his little 8-9 month term, or other kids were already out there, already born. What were they doing with those kids? What's the play there? Were they just murdering them on sight? or just keeping tabs on them as they grow up, or what do you mean by that? Like, I don't know. So say you did find out that little kid Ace was the son of Gold Roger. What's your play there? I don't know. They didn't say it. So we got that craziness at the end, and then the crazy review. You know, we see the might of what they've got going on. They've got like 50 plus mounted cannon ships out there, probably 5 to 10 giants. All the warlords that haven't betrayed or, you know, crossed over the other side are there. All the other admirals, vice admirals, smoker, and the lot of everything else, and then they've probably got like 100,000 troops. All for an old man, huh? All for a non-prime Whitebeard. So a lot going on with that. I'm actually great that we got that, because those, I don't know, flashback episodes or check-in with the crew episodes were pretty rough. So I'm glad they hit us with like some good stuff there in 459. So drag this over here. Let's see what make sure we're recording. Yeah, let's see what we got with 460. That book is going crazy. Jesus. Now there's no sympathy for us at all. Whose book is that, man? Oh. He has the One Piece. What? He has the One Piece. It's. Well, now that even adds more into. There's no way Ace survives this. I don't think he survives this at all. Now, unless we've been led astray and Dragon is not actually Luffy's dad and it's Roger the whole time and they just say that, I don't know. I don't know. The man's always got to go double SIGs at the same time. That's what I said. Same thing Boa's saying. So what do we just call each other brothers? Like you got the D. Anybody that's got the D moniker in their name, it's just like, hey brother. I don't know. Wow, so they were executing anybody that had any lineage to him. Okay, you're saying the same? Yeah. Hey, you guys are asking accurate questions. I'm asking the same thing. Let me move this up a little bit. You guys can't get the full subtitles. I had to up this image because I finally got copyright claimed on the One Piece video 400 episodes later. Everyone's asking the same questions. Boa, Colby, Jack, Cheese. Garp didn't want that information out there. But here's the thing, Garp is, then are we going to say if Garp is Gold Roger's father, it's like, wouldn't they want him executed as well? Because he's connected to some lineage. But I guess the ultimate, like, get out of jail free card is like, hey, I brought him to justice. So, like, you guys let me pass, right? And he's a highly ranked. It's not like he's some random Marine that they let live. Like, he's up there. The woman was related to him? Is that what he just said? Like by blood? Or... I don't know. Maybe Garp felt bad, took in Ace. Roger, like, Dragon actually is. I think Dragon might actually be Garp's son. And this conversation right here, Garp goes out of his way to look after Ace. Puts him in the same area as his son, which is Dragon. grows up around Luffy and they just become brothers, but not actually brothers. Maybe that's the explanation. Garp took in Ace, and once Garp had a grandson, which turned out to be Luffy, he just dropped Ace off in that location. They grew up together, might as well be brothers, etc., etc., blah blah blah. Or maybe there's some wild shit behind it. I don't know. I don't know if it's that simple or it's more shocking and dramatic than that. I'm not sure. Not quite sure. Let's say, are people clapping or are people running? So Garp's ass must have needed to be there the moment she gave birth, because is this them looking for her right now? But she did die on sight though. But they would have done something with the kid. Wow, so they were just killing innocent kids on sight. Roger was that much of a menace. Jesus. Were they just going around just two-tapping kids in the head on sight? What's the play here? Oh, wow. They were. And everybody was okay with that, by the way. That's fine. As much of a... And again... I need more background on, like, Roger, of, like... Was he out there just, like, raping and killing and pillaging? Like, was his pirate era, like, that bad? Like, he was just the worst of the worst, the scum of the scum? I have absolutely no idea. But we're just gonna off innocent kids and the mothers at the same time. Like, it was that much of a menace that we can't even have the chance that somebody, his offspring, could even grow up to even slightly be like him. Like, he was that bad. Or is that just something the Marines tell themselves? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. And nobody in there was no Okaji in there, or no Sal, the big giant, I think that was his name. Nobody was just looking around like, hey, this is wrong. Like, I've got a little bit of a standard, a little bit of morals here. Or we just take blind orders regardless. I don't know. I still don't even know how she was physically able to do it. I mean, maybe we'll get explained, but like, Jesus. What? Looking at the one with husbands too, that could be fake. At this point, just kill everybody on the island if we're doing that. They're over here looking at the ones that are single that could have been, and now they're looking for the ones that look like they have families that it could be fake. Well, if we're doing that, just go ahead and pull a Nico Robin and just massacre the whole island and get it over with, right? What? And she's just doing this off of sheer will? I thought maybe she was getting like coached and taught on like how to do a specific technique, or she sought out somebody that was able to help her. She's just doing this off of pure mental. So maybe she had some old medicine worker or somebody that she found out how to do. No? And then she waited an extra year after the fact. And then here's Garp showing up. But she has the D moniker in her name as well. So what did Roger do? Like, get his cousin pregnant, or his sister? Like, what are we? Are they related? So many questions. I mean, the whole like middle name, middle initial has yet to be dug up as well. Because again, I'm assuming everybody that we come across that has that is blood related of some kind. They're on some kind of tree, blood related tree. Now again, I don't know if they're actually related. But they could have been married and she just took on the moniker. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's actually her name. So the question becomes, what does it mean to have that in your name? Like, what does that mean? Does it grant you a certain power? Does it grant you access to XYZ? We don't know. Because I think the only one that's been kind of like off the chart, that's a little like, oh, where does he fill into the story, is the giant. He's the only one that we've gotten introduced to, that we know, that us as the viewer know, that he could be somehow. Yep. This is how they become brothers. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. So they're not actually blood related. So there's no crazy blood tree connection. Triple mother is actually his sister, actually the grandfather with same dad, different dad, two same grandfathers. No. Why does he hate his dad so much? Did we ever get confirmation on that? But yeah, Sal's the only one that doesn't have. But then the question is, okay, then how does, well, now that they're not related, it also puts Luffy, like, how is Luffy into it as well? Because Sal, I was like, okay, you could say that Gold Roger, Ace, the woman he was with, okay, they could all have the moniker, they're blood related. And I was like, well, Luffy is now not blood related. Neither is Sal, so who knows? Who knows? Dang, so Whitebeard knew all that info as well? Oh. And got his ass captured. Sheesh. Triple Admiral shot right there. Jeez, they're that scared of Roger that they would take him out and probably risk a 50-50 coin flip chance of losing an all-out war than letting Ace live. Is this us at the gate, or is this Whitebeard at the gate? Why does his ship look like a Whalmer? Am I pronouncing it right? The Pokemon? The massive whale? Do they do that on purpose to make it look like that? Luck is so on our side. This shit is actually opening again. That's when they pay him back and it's Bon Clay in here again. How does this keep happening? I was about to say, unless Jinbei's got an inside connect from his Warlord days. This Whitebeard's already gotten in and he's opening it. Hey, the more the better. Who is it this time? Okay, it's not you. That's what we definitely know. But I think we got a clear kind of explanation on the quote-unquote brother. He's doing it. He's doing it. He's him. Yeah. Are they going to show us who it is before the episode ends? As we've got like maybe 2 minutes left. Well, Jinbei, you want to get out and like push this shit correctly or what? Oh, does the gate open right to that port right here? Like the gate, whoa. That's like some shit, to be honest. That's dramatic. They're so ready. Why don't you execute him and get it over with? What are we dragging it out for? Why? I thought you said you would take him out at all costs, even if it risked an all-out war. Why are we... Okay, so what are you waiting on? Especially with that information about Roger. Somebody out there hitting some mist. Oh, God. How do you get... I want to know how they get past the cannons. Like, how do you actually get in the port with the cannons and the ships? That's right, they were already in before the gate opened. It's not like they came in with us. They were already in there. What the hell? Are we not firing on sight? What's that, Caterpillar crew? Oh my god. That's what I had pictured Luffy's crew being. Like when I got into One Piece for the first time, I was like, I don't know what One Piece is about. But I'd love to see, like, I think in the first 5 episodes, I was like, I'd love to see Luffy leading in like an armada of ships, like 50 deep, and every one of his like first crewmates like leads like a squad of like 10 that all sail under him. This is what I envisioned it being. Who's panicking? I really want to see Whitebeard's ship like tower over them. Well, he's got good relations with the fishermen, huh? Maybe he comes from underneath. Maybe he does come from underneath. Sweet lord. Oh god. Oh. He's gonna have made it. I was about to say he's gonna have made it through the ships. They're still mounted cannons though. Hello, before the episode ends, you gonna show us what's under there? I mean, they have cannons pointed on that. We just open fire off rip or no? I'd love to see him just like staring down the warlords and the admirals like dead face to face, giving no fucks. Oh, it's what we were trying to do. Holy shit. It does look like a giant whale. I'm getting Skypiea flashbacks when we came crashing down. Well, we knew it was called. We knew that was the name of his ship. Right in the front door. Whew. It's so wild because, like, when they do it right, they do it right. And when they do it bad, my god, do they do it bad. But I guess when you're 1,000 episodes deep, what do you expect? You know? Like, how can every episode of 1,000 be a banger? But the last 2, I don't mind sitting through those 3 episodes that we sat through with Chopper and Nami and Zoro and everything else. Because these 2 episodes have been that great. Honestly, I won't say that, because there were some good episodes in there. But I'm saying start to finish, though, because I don't know if we had that. I think the last 2 episodes that we had, from like pressing play to pressing end, start to finish. The 2 episodes that we had were better from start to finish than I think any episode in Impel Down start to finish. Now, Impel Down had some more like crazy moments, like Magellan and Luffy going at it and all those other type of things, getting introduced to Jinbei and seeing XYZ. So there are definitely some like moments in there, but I'm saying from start to finish, like 0 seconds to 22 minutes at the end, these 2 episodes from start to finish were better than anything Impel Down put together from start to finish, in my opinion. So I was kind of wanting there to be some kind of crazy blood related reveal on how they're brothers, like make it make sense to me, like really break it down, do something wild. But it looks to be the simplest explanation. And that explanation is that they're not actually brothers. That's the explanation. I didn't know how they were gonna finagle that and say this and it's really that and XYZ blah blah blah. But it seems pretty self-explanatory. They were kids, I don't know. Neither of them over probably the age of like 5 or 6, 7. They grew up together, so they call themselves brothers. That's as simple baseline as it is. And I guess it kind of keeps it, I guess, a little bit quicker and cleaner of like, so the family tree on one side, it is, I'm assuming it's Garp to Dragon to Luffy, correct? I'm assuming. And then on the other side, it's Roger to Ace. Now, if Ace doesn't survive this, is the bloodline of Roger like fully like done, stamped and dusted, like it's just done? There's no other kid that we'll get introduced to out there anywhere. I find that very, very hard to believe, especially with the way that the story just painted that, like how they went through hell to stamp out any possible kid that had relation. Some Game of Thrones Joffrey making sure that there's no bastard kids out there from Robert Baratheon at all. Like, I don't care if they're 2 seconds old, 2 months old, 20 years old. We're killing them on sight. The mothers too. It just feels like, you know, we're talking about Roger and his bloodline and, you know, anybody that could be. I feel like it would be a missed opportunity to not have somebody else out there that's a descendant of him. It's a vast world. There's like 700 something episodes. Surely there's somebody. I would like to think maybe it is just like completely squashed after this. I have absolutely no idea. Still no clarification on the middle name initial, on how that is what it is. Because as far as we know, up to this point in the story, episode 460, there's no crossover relation between Luffy and Roger as far as like blood relation. Does Garp have it in his name too? I don't know if we've ever gotten Garp's full name, but we've gotten Roger, of course. Roger's wife / like sister, brother, mother, cousin, sister, wife. I don't know what she is. The way they said it, it made it seem like that Roger and the woman, Ace's mother, are related somehow. I don't know if I read that correctly, but we've seen Roger, Ace's mother, Ace, Luffy, Luffy's dad, and Sal. I think those are the 6 people we've seen have that in their name up to this point in the story, and I'm sure that won't be the last. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up with 10 by the time we get to it. What does it mean? What does it grant you? All those type of things, we have absolutely no idea. But yeah, I mean, they made that pretty straightforward and simple, unless they're going to break it down even more. They're just not actually blood related brothers. They just grew up together. They call themselves brothers. Is what it is. Simple as that. Pop, pop, in and out. Whitebeard's here. So, and it's so crazy that like, there's no guarantee that you guys actually win this war. So you're so ready to make sure that there's no lineage of Roger out there that you would risk Whitebeard and maybe even pirates taking over everything. Like the Celestial Dragons, the Marines, all of it. You would risk all of that just crumbling, defeated, and it being a world full of pirates. You're willing to risk that just to execute him because he's related to Roger. You got to get rid of it that badly. It's worth that risk. I guess if the higher ups and whoever's in charge made that decision, then I guess that's what they're going with, because, you know, it's like, oh, we stamp out pirates, we don't want them taking over, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Can't have anybody run around. And you're willing to like really coin flip that in an all-out war just to execute him. That's ballsy. That is pretty ballsy. So I don't know if all the ships went underneath. I'm assuming, because again, we're at the gate, and it's not like the gate was left open. It's like we happen to like be lucky enough to get in. So were all the ships coded? And what they do, go underneath the door and come up through? I guess that's the explanation on that. But all that still doesn't answer the question of who opened the door for us. Bon Clay? Round 2? Highly unlikely, but we'll see. A lot of developments there, a lot of craziness going on. But he's here like face to face in front of everybody. So, and we get introduced to a bunch of pirate captains there. Again, are they going to be worth a damn? Do they have any crazy abilities? Are they even as strong as any of like the vice admiral? Are they as strong as like a smoker or any of the warlords? I don't know. Who knows if they're just cool character designs with cool names, or they're as strong as like Akuma and an Okaji and the others. I'm gonna say probably not. But we'll see. We'll leave it there and see. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,